Hello, it's CraftyRia. Today I'm going to be recycling a couple of cards. They are baby cards this time instead of Christmas cards. I have these two baby cards to recycle. This one and this one. Now, it wasn't me that had the baby. It was a friend, and then they gave us these cards along with some Christmas cards and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and recycle these. I don't know anybody that's having a baby right now or that's pregnant right now, but I like to have these types of cards on hand just in case, and that way I have them ready to send if I need to, and I'm not scrambling trying to make a card at the last minute. So we'll go ahead and start with this yellow one. I have two card backs. They are 5.5 by 4. I went ahead and cut it down to 4 instead of 4 1/4 because I'm going to use these envelopes. I have a blue envelope and a blue mat for the blue card. And I thought this yellow envelope went really well with this yellow card, and this green mat looks really good with this green. So I thought I would use that for this one. These cards and envelopes I got in this big box of them. I got it at Pat Catan's on clearance. They're closing their stores here in Ohio, so I got this big pack for $2. So I'm going to go ahead and be using that up. You'll see it in a whole lot of videos. Of course, you can use any card base and any envelopes that you have. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to cut down this card. I want to cut out the word baby. I think I want to try to preserve that heart. And this here reminds me of a piece of ribbon. So I want to cut this off and use it on the front of the card as I would use a piece of ribbon. I actually think I have ribbon that matches that, but I thought since it was already on the card, I would go ahead and recycle as much of the card as I can. So I'm going to start by cutting this little strip off. I'm just going to line it up here in my paper trimmer and just cut. So I have this piece here, and it does look like a piece of ribbon. And then I'm going to cut the front of the card off. And I also love to recycle the inside, so I'm going to cut the sentiment out from the inside as well. I'm going to set this yellow paper aside. I think those scraps are too little to do anything with. And I have that. Oh, and I'm going to cut the word baby out. I'm going to try to cut it pretty close to the letters. There we go. I have that all trimmed down. So I have everything I need for this card trimmed up except for the mat. Let's see. I think I'm going to mat this on the green, but I need to cut the green down so it leaves a little bit of a mat around the white. I don't want it to be the same exact side as the front of the card. I'm going to burnish the edge of this down a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use this little paper trimmer. I like the way it does the edges a little bit better. So I'm going to cut, I'm just going to eyeball it and cut a little bit off each edge of this. And see how that looks on this card. There, so it does leave a little bit of a white edge, which is exactly what I want. And then I want to see, I might have to trim, I think I'm going to trim this down just a little bit on each side. Just so it has more of a border. There we go. I like that. Now let me look at this piece here. And I think that would look really pretty as my faux ribbon on the bottom, especially because it matches the bee beautifully. I would like a little embellishment on here, and I have this little heart button, and I also have a real button that I thought I could use if I needed to. This button is from this pack of buttons. Let's see, it's from Midway Buttons from October Afternoon, and I just picked a yellow button out of there. The only thing I don't like about this button is it's very thick, and it's kind of thick to put in a card. So I'm going to try to fussy cut that little heart out and see how it looks. It is embossed a little bit, so it does have a little bit of a 3D effect. And it is really, really cute. And the yellow obviously matches the yellow on the card perfectly. So there's my little fussy cutted heart. Fussy cut heart. And I think it would look really cute on there. And this way I can recycle the card 100%. So that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down on this first. Get my trusty tape runner out. I might have to replace my tape partway through the video. It might be over to the left, to the right a little bit, but I can fix that by trimming off a little bit off of the other edge here, rather than trying to move that, since this is just the mat. There. Yeah, that looks better. I just took a little sliver off. And that still looks really good. And then we'll put this down here. So I'm just going to run some tape on the back of this. And I'll just go ahead. I'm going to put it over the edge a little bit so it's sticking out, because I want to trim it off to make sure it's perfectly flush. So I'll flip it over and I'll trim off each edge. If it was real ribbon, I would fold it across the back, fold it over the back, so it wouldn't fray. But since it's paper, it's not going to fray. And I have a little bit of tape left on here, and this adhesive is great because all you have to do is just rub it off and it balls up and you can get rid of it. Love this adhesive. And then I'm just going to stick this on here just like that. And just by putting it on this mat, it gives it a little bit of dimension. And it gives it more of that homemade look. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of glue. I have to decide where I want to put this. Kind of in the middle. Maybe over to the edge, like on that side. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. You don't need a lot. This is art glitter glue and it dries clear. I may have gotten a little too much on my card, so I'm going to take a little Q-tip and take a little bit off. Because I don't want it to spill out from behind that, and it will dry clear, but it might look a little shiny. So there we go, we have a baby card all done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to change out my tape and I'll be back for the next video. Okay, I'm back with a brand new roll of tape in my tape gun. So before I move on to the second card, I do want to put the sentiment on the inside of this card. And I cut it out of the original card. And I want to go ahead, I got another piece of this green mat, and I want to go ahead and mat it on the inside just to make it look pretty and have it match. Whenever I put new tape in this tape gun, it runs so smoothly. I absolutely love it when it's new. There. And then I will just trim this out. Yeah, I made that too wide. There. Oh, I made that one crooked. I'm betting 1,000 over here. There. So I have that piece for the inside. I'll set that aside and get rid of my little tiny pieces. Yeah, the new tape runner, when I put a new roll of tape in, it is wonderful. Okay. So that card is complete. Now I have this blue one, and we'll go ahead and take care of this. I have this, it's 4 by 5.5, so it fits perfectly in this envelope. I don't think I'm going to need this blue mat, but I will set it aside in case I do. And for this card, it's going to be a little harder to make this card the way I want it because this card is huge and this card is not huge. So obviously this is all not going to fit on the front. And it would be cutting it too close if I tried to include these words. But I think I can have your new baby boy on the front. Use that as well. Then the inside, he may be brand new to the world, but he already knows that love is in the circle of your arms. I really like that saying, so I definitely want to use that. So let's cut this apart. I'll have to use my bigger trimmer because it's a bigger card. I'm just going to cut it at the seams real quick just so I kind of know what I'm dealing with. And I will cut this sentiment out. I think I need to take a little bit off that right side to even it up. And the back of this is blue, but I'm not sure if it's going to work to mat it because it has stuff on it. No, but I will figure something else out in a minute. Okay, so for this, I want these two pieces to line up. So I am going to put them together and get a piece of washi tape. And just adhere it together with the washi tape, just so when I'm cutting this out, they're the exact same size. And I think I'm going to have to cut these words off the bottom. I'm trying to decide though. Yeah. Okay, so I have to cut these words off the bottom. I'm going to use my big paper cutter here because I have two thicknesses of cardstock. I've got to get the big guns out. It's my favorite paper cutter in the whole world, in case you're wondering. This is the Tonic Studios paper cutter. So I'm going to cut it kind of right above those words. And then I need to see, okay, I'm going to trim the top so they're even because they are, right now it's not even. And then I have to decide how much on each side. I'm going to kind of eyeball it. Actually, I should mark it with my pencil. I'm not exactly sure even this is what I want to do. But I'm going to cut it this way and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we have this. Nope, that was way too far. Still need to trim a little bit off of that left side. It's very hard to cut both of them at once. It's nice heavy cardstock. Alright, there we go. Okay. carefully remove that washi tape. And this is the base of the card. I'm actually going to, it's kind of a lopsided, so I'm going to take a little bit off this edge here. I can use this. I might end up doing something a little different than what I had planned there. And I'm not sure I like that little piece of white that ended up being there. Okay, I'm going to cut this a little closer to the window frame because I want to pop it up, but I think, no, maybe I'll leave it like that. I will trim this little piece, I think. Let me look. Since I trimmed that one, I should trim this one to match. Okay. So I will put this down and then put this over top of it, raised up on some pop dots. So I'm going to go ahead and put the backing on this. Make sure my card's opening in the right direction. There we go. This would have been actually also a good shaker card. But I'm not going to do it like that now, but that would make a really cute shaker card. I'm just going to make it an open window card though. I have some foam tape. This foam tape I get at the Dollar Tree. It comes on this nice roll, and what's great about it is that it is not very thick. So it's great for sending through the mail. And I'll just put some pieces around. If I was making this a shaker card, I would have a piece of clear acetate here, and I would be putting foam tape completely around, so whatever I'm putting inside would not shake out. Of course, I didn't think of that before I did the video, so. Okay, so we have that, and I'm going to just line it up on here. And peel the backing off. There we go. So we just kind of have a little window. So we have this piece that will be on the inside, and I definitely want to mat it on something blue. And that's not big enough. do have this blue piece that I think I'll go ahead and use. And I'll mat that on the inside. It doesn't match perfectly, but once you open the card, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. And as you can see, this says Hallmark. And we know that recycling the cards is better than Hallmark. You need to trim a little more off this edge. There. All right, perfect. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll have this envelope for it. I will go ahead and stamp on the back with my name. And then I store them in the envelopes like that. And this one will have this yellow envelope. Okay. There we go. The 2 cards we made today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different than the typical Christmas card video, but I wanted to show you ways to recycle other cards that you may have. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel. There'll be plenty more videos coming out. And please leave me a comment below. Thank you so much for watching. You guys take care and go get crafting. Bye-bye.